Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to Space Engineers, Colony Wars. Yep, that's right, we're doing another video. You have seen the final of Colony Wars. We'll treat this as like an after action behind the scenes report. We're going to analyse how the actual survival battle went and see where we can go from there. I'm joined by Mr. Craz today, say hello.
Hello.
Now, Craz, today we're going to analyse every ship that was in the battle and see what's left of it, aren't we? We've booted up a world where, you know, we stopped it to film the cinematic, so this is exactly where we left it. It's in creative at the minute because we didn't really want to run out of oxygen, but wow, you can even look.
The right world?
Yeah, I mean, you can look over here. Finn's this is where he logged off, and everyone's stood in their same positions, like castles over there.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the CIC looks pristine.
I know, that's one thing I was really proud of. Like, people would say like the Vengeance got wrecked, and when I show you the outside in a minute, it doesn't look very good. But the CIC never took a dent. If we just unseal the door here, could you get the button there? Just unseal the door. The corridor outside is really messed up, so we can show some internals. Castle. Yeah, he was trying to escape at the time, I think. So if we go out here, this is how far the CIC was close to being damaged. Look at that. There's a hole inside.
I mean, there's still a lot of armor here. I mean, when you first loaded it up, I was like, are we in the right world? Because I don't see any damage.
And then if we actually look at the Vengeance itself, it got wrecked. But the superstructure kind of held up really well. Like, there's certainly some hull breaches in certain areas, but the actual CIC was untouched. I'm like, yeah, I can design CICs really well. I
feel like we're missing something here. Do you? Am I the only one feeling this? Or?
It's a good job no one ever thought that was the real bridge. Oh, I know the drones, like, they thought it was the real bridge at one point, and yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I mean, look, the 3 panes of glass still survived down here, so one of the bridges survived.
Yeah, actually, the back, is that the observation deck, or what was that?
Well, the observation deck, which was just here, that's gone, which you were just in. And then a small bridge down here, which is going to be like, you know, the actual bridge.
Hello!
Yeah, this cockpits are still inside it. I mean, wow.
Yeah, you could have people sitting there. I mean, I used that as an extra seat during one of the battles, I think.
I know in one of the battles we reshot, the drone team thought that was the bridge in there, and they tried aiming for it, when realistically the CIC is buried really in depth there. So yeah, back onto it. A lot of the Vengeance did survive. Most of the auto repair systems are still here. It's just we ran out of steel plates in the end and couldn't repair it. We managed to repair a lot of our guns you see on the sides here at one point with some steel plates that we salvaged off part of a ship, but other than that, ran out of supplies and couldn't, you know, redo the supplies, so it kind of just got stuck to patching anything that got blown off. The front of a ship, yeah, that didn't do so well, because I think we rammed something at one point and, you know, kind of wiped off anything on the front.
Yeah, I mean, there's one hole here that's dug in pretty deep. It almost did take out the conveyors here, except this line. This line seems fine, but the one here going to a turret there seems to be gone.
Probably.
And yeah, the front's just... Ooh, that's deformed.
I mean, look at it. It's dug in the side here as well. Like, wow. That's just taken so much damage. I mean, these are the boost engines. I think if we go around the back of it, luckily the main engine still stayed online. I mean, yeah, we lost one main engine. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the boost engines is gone. Some of the up ones are gone, but still pretty good, you know.
Those defenses on the back held quite well.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we take a look at your ship, because you managed to pull alongside it. So in the cinematic, I changed a few things, just to, you know, support the story a little bit. But this is how the battle ended. Both teams were realistically only left with the 2 flagships. But Craz, your ship still survived a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, so...
tell us how this worked.
Since Jack is obviously the editor of all this, I haven't seen the final thing. But as you can see in, like, the first video, it takes a few hits. It loses... one part of the front left. It takes a few hits. It actually took a cold gun hit straight to one of the engines, which, you know, is gone at the moment. But when it got hit, due to the heavy armor I added, it was fine. It lost a back here, but the cold gun was fine. It was actually me and Horza flying. Horza was firing both the cold cannons until we got back up from Owen, I think, helped us a little bit.
So yeah, I think, you know, your cruiser, like, the bulk of it survived in a way. Like, the core section is still here, and it's still movable, isn't it? Like, you managed to fly it through the Vengeance. Like, this wasn't teleported, you flew it as soon as we cut it. Because we spent, like, an extra 15 minutes after we ended it, just so people could, you know, analyze the wreckage and such, and wow. I mean, people, like, said, oh, this is light armor, it won't survive, and you reinforced certain sections with heavy armor, but overall, like, the chunk of it was still here, which is quite nice.
Before I changed anything, the only heavy armor was the stuff above and under the tanks. I then added heavy armor under the coil gun bases, the engines, and the sides and top of the bridge. We still took 3 coil guns at the exact same spot due to one of the DRF ships, which shot out 2 out of the 3 seats.
I mean, they
So
really overuse the coil guns. There's one thing I was looking at and thought, how many coil guns can you fit on one ship? Because that is unrealistic. I mean, I know economy's not realistic in a way because it's like sci-fi and such like that, but I was like, come on. Anyway, should we go take a look at the Dawnbreaker a minute? So we kind of want to get around the entire fleet here. So the Dawnbreaker's just off to our right, so just teleport your character for a sec. So this was what was piloted by Lur, and obviously in the cinematic we confirm this went down, but this was what's left of a Dawnbreaker. Now I was quite surprised. I thought this thing would get shredded near enough instantly because it was shit, let's be realistic here. It was crap, but wow, it did really well. It did, because I tested this in battle as well, and everyone was like, so Jack, you really underestimated the ship, and I think I did, because I thought, it was just going to get destroyed. Because it's been so long since we actually used the Dawnbreaker, but no, it held up really well. And I think, again, a testimony to my CIC design, I think if we go inside here, the CIC only took some very small damage.
Pick a hole.
Yeah, just pick a hole to go in. Yeah, here we go. The CIC is roughly intact. There's a couple of damages around the door and such, but other than that, mostly everything's fine in here, so you can still command the ship.
We're missing one door, we've got some deformed walls, but the basic stuff is, here. Everything you need to continue fighting.
And you can still drive it as well. It's got a couple of engines, which is quite nice. Anyway, let's just quickly analyze some more of the exterior so I can find a hole in the side to get out.
I think the whole ship was actually converted from atmospheric to space, which, that's kind of hard when it's this heavy, but they did a good job.
I mean, look at that. It's just, I'm really surprised how it, survived. Obviously, this is now available on the Steam Workshop if anyone wants to go and download it. Craz, your cruise will be on the workshop by the time this video comes out, won't it?
Yes, it will.
That should be Sunday night, so yesterday. But yeah, that was the Dawnbreaker. Anyway, I believe Bash's ship, the Farragut's next, and it's somewhere... it's the transmissions over there. Should we just fly over a sec? Okay, so this is a Farragut. This was Bash's ship, which we named the Sleazy Sunflower, the Cheeseoid, the Cheese Wedge, the Citadel Cheese, the Cathedral City. It got named everything, but we actually took this in a battle. Me and Chris had to work on it quite a bit off screen in survival to get this thing working, because obviously Bash unfortunately couldn't take part in the series due to personal reasons. And we managed to repair this, and it did quite well in the fight. It was very slow, and I think the Dawnbreaker crashed into it at one point.
Come in here. So the armor's still here. Everything else is gutted. Our lovely little table here with crit is, it seems
Is the toilet still intact? Yes, it is.
Is it? Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna leave you in there. Have fun.
We still need to put a door on that block.
If you just ignore the flames over there, it's just a regular day at the job. Nothing's going wrong. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think the drone team really underestimated the ship because it did put up a very good fight, and even I was surprised at how well the Farragut did.
I thought it would be too heavy.
I did as well, but because I designed the back here, which obviously wasn't Bash's design, I just had to quickly slap some blocks together and make it look good. So that's what I did. But yeah, it held up really well. I mean, some of the weapon points are still here. It'd be interesting to see because obviously we cut this, to end it cinematically for certain reasons. But if the fleets kept going, it would be interesting to see who would actually win, because the Vengeance is still in a working condition, along with your ship. I mean, although they're completely damaged, but, so they can fly and fire still. Like, they're very badly damaged, but, they're not out of the fight just yet. So it'd be interesting to see who could actually win in a full-on survival thing, isn't it? Because a lot of people underestimated our fleet because of, oh no, the drones have built so many ships, which, we slaughtered in the first 5 seconds with all the Papal ships. Shame.
No offense, Papal, but
yeah, they were good ships, very explosive.
I think we were sitting all together at the start, and we were focusing all our turrets. We had some really good shooters. I think you had Castle of Finn. I had Horza.
Okay, teleport to me. I found the Avalon, so this was Venom's ship.
Okay.
And this is what's left. Because in the cinematic, Venom was slightly killed off. He's probably not dead, though, when the Avalon was destroyed by the Green Drones. But this is what's actually left of the Avalon, because it got roasted like 50 times. And Venom just stood on the bridge here, which contains nothing anymore. I mean, look at that.
I'll take partial blame for one of the engine bays, since I did collide with it, but that was an accident.
Yeah, an accident,
but
he
yeah,
says.
Venom just standing there.
Yeah, I think he must have just, respawned on it in, because I think obviously we checked it out, when we finished filming, didn't we? So he must have teleported back.
Yeah.
But wow.
I mean,
they held up really well.
It has a reactor. Oh yeah, so it lost one reactor.
But on a serious note, we originally thought, oh, it's one of Venom's ships again, it'll last 5 seconds. But these held up really well, and I was quite surprised. I'm going to quickly try and find the Odin in a minute, because that was its sister ship.
I think it's on Mars.
Oh, yeah, apparently the Odin's down here on Mars. Oh no, it's you can teleport to my character. Yeah.
Okay.
The final resting place for Odin. Oh no.
It crashed very nicely, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
10 points to Gryffindor. This was a nice, crash site for it.
Reminds me of the Battle of Jakku's taking place over here, but wow, that is not very much left of this one.
Still has a reactor though. Well, again, like they're small, so I thought, okay, they'll take like 2-3 coil guns and then they'll die. But no, it still has some operational capabilities.
It's got one engine pod on the side as well.
Is the bridge still intact?
No, that's gone.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yes, there's
well,
there's nothing
the
left.
ladder is still here. That's what's important.
Ladders! Savage! Right, let's see what else we can find on the ship. I think the defender's also on Mars.
Yes, it is. I took some screenshots.
Oh my, it's still shooting. It's upside down, it's still shooting.
What?
It just teleported to me.
What is it shooting at?
And I think the Vulcans are just stuck on permanent fire. I'm just going to quickly turn it off for a second.
Turn it off, cuts it off.
What is going on here? Damn, I didn't realize this crashed on Mars.
Jerry did some weird shit with this defender. I mean, holy shit. It's still got thrusters.
Which is still firing, apparently.
Oh, I see the issue. The bridge is gone and his CIC is gone.
I mean, the bridge was demolished along with almost the engineering. I mean, he's left with one reactor there. I mean, look, main engineering lab is destroyed. But there's one jump drive left, so he could have jumped out, but I guess he must have been towed down to atmosphere. Because the Defender wasn't a very good ship anyway. I think I'm doing a survival overhaul of this soon, so maybe we'll get a new modernized Defender out soon.
He's got hydrogen still, but yeah, definitely a lot of holes here.
Indeed, wow.
I think he must have got it shot out and then lost control of the ship.
I think because he lost his cockpit at one point. I think he said he was falling into atmosphere, but unfortunately I didn't catch up. I'll have to watch some of the raw footage back and see what happened. Anyway, should we look at some of the DOF ships? Have we forgotten anything on our side? We did Avalon, Odin, Cruiser, Vengeance, Defender, Dawnbreaker. Oh no, you can teleport to me. This is the Athena. Well, it says it's owned by Hardman, so I'm just going to take a guess. Now this is their small like shuttle pod ship I think we had escaping from Mars, isn't it? Which I think you demolished with one good coil gun shot.
I think, this was the one that shot us 3 times.
Split in half.
3 guns. It had 3 guns, shot us, took out the main cockpit. I switched. Horza was able to salvage one of the floating ones inside the ship. And then, I don't know if it was you or me or Horza. I got 1 shot, which disabled half its thrusters. And then Horza got another one, and then I got another one, which finally split it in half. So this is the cockpit, I think.
Yeah, that was a bridge, and then it would have been attached to this engine section here, because it had like... It almost reminded me of like an Atlantean shuttle from, Stargate Atlantis.
It was quite round.
Yeah, it had like sort of like curves on the engine pods outside. But it was a nice looking ship. Shame it got demolished. Oh well. Anyway, let's go see what else they've got left. Video FB, is that anything? Or whatever this is crashed down here. Oh, is this a pod? Oh, you can teleport to me a sec. This was their sniper pod, which I rammed at one point. I'm not sure whether I included the ramming in the editing, because I think I was focused on something else. But the Vengeance rammed this at one point.
Yeah, the only thing I can see in here is just armor.
There's nothing left. There's one gun on the bottom.
Oh, okay. There's a half-constructed coal gun on the side, but that's it. It's that and armor.
That is quite funny when you think about it.
It must have gotten dragged in.
Must have been. So let's see what else we got. But yeah, this was Apathy's ship. Now this one caused quite a bit of damage to you at one point, didn't it? But you also hit back at it with your main gun.
Let's see which. Oh no, this wasn't the troublemaker. This one was hassling Lur. The round one was the one that shot us.
Wasn't this the one Aaron was
bridge.
Piloting, where in the video he just got blown out of a cockpit and killed instantly?
Yeah, that nice shot when he turned around and everything just blew up.
Yeah, it was like that shot of what was that Pirates of the Caribbean film where the Admiral just falls apart on the ship. It's kind of reminded me of that.
Ship just.
It's just good business as the entire thing goes up.
Yeah, to be honest, that must be the best. What is it called? Best reference to that? I don't know.
Probably. So this ship is still in a working state, I'd say. I mean, it's probably lost most of its engines, but the drones built them with, the thrusters inside. And I think this is a good thing, to explain how some of the drone ships are built, because most of ours are built in survival. Well, I know you designed your cruiser in creative, right?
Yeah, for a good month.
Yeah,
I think.
so the Vengeance was actually designed and built in survival, which means it has significant disadvantages compared to drone warships, which were built in creative. Take the Turtle and Excalibur, and for those wondering, no, this is not me hating on them, it's just me simply saying both those ships were designed in creative, therefore they've hidden thrusters inside. The Vengeance didn't do that. Everything on the Vengeance you see was designed in survival for survival, so it's going to have a disadvantage against some of the drone ships. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, this ship has a jump drive, a cockpit, some batteries. That's the issue. I think it ran out of power due to that, and then it has gyroscope. So it could technically still move, but I think me and Horza were constantly shooting it after it disengaged from lure. And Horza was at one point, I think we killed it, Craz. And I told him,
let's try again.
Check for a heartbeat.
Anyway, so this is the turtle over here, or the turtle Excalibur, the turtle Caliber. Castle had a name for it, yeah. The Abomination, I'm not sure. It's a mess. It's a mess.
I think we called it Flex Tape at the start.
I mean, the merge job of it. I did feel bad for Conrad in a way, because like the turtle was like the one that was actually, you know, almost complete, or was half completed on the drone team, and unfortunately, he kind of just got like cut out and he merged it.
Even 70%, I think he said. He just
Something like
had
that.
like a little bit left. So the whole front here is gutted. It's got armor and it got some thruster, but it's basically got it. The back, where are you?
I'm just. So I'll go into.
Oh, are you looking at Spectre?
So I'm in character mode now.
Okay, so the engines are gone except for like one nacelle has a few.
I think
of
there's
them.
2 nacelles because I was testing it in creative, cinematics, and it's got 2 nacelles left.
Yeah. There's holes everywhere. Where? Those thrusters are gone. Okay, there's the entry hole. So I'm guessing this was the bridge?
Yes, this was a bridge because it had like an industrial cockpit in here, I believe. And, well, it was the bridge, should we say. It was the bridge.
Okay, let's walk in here.
People said I had an exposed bridge.
This is where he was sitting, and he had a hangar block there. Oh, God!
Yeah,
There's a hole here.
That might be the one I just dug in.
So, no. That was an entry hole from, I think, an X3 probably. So there's this metal section still live, but the issue was here when
one
they
of the big things is where they merged it. There were like these whole bits here. Like if I just placed a couple of blocks in, these blocks here where I put those steel blocks, that there was open, so we could see the jump drives and the hydrogen tanks. And I think at one point it was either you or Castle which scored a direct hit right there. It's like that, episode 2 of Star Wars, aim right above the fuel cells as the rockets go there and annihilate it. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, I think both. I think a bunch of us actually got shots in there. I know Horza got a few. I know I got one with a coal gun and took out some hydrogen tanks. And that's probably the reason why it's gutted, because the front was heavily armored.
Because when we saw it come in, it was kind of like, this is where we should aim.
Yeah, it was just like this was the biggest weakness because we could gut it from the inside out, technically.
It wasn't really much left of it in a way, because I had to add a couple of extra thrusters to film it in cinematic. Because for those wondering, for the cinematics, I just came into this world and copy and pasted the Vengeance and a turtle, and I repaired Venom ship. So to do that, I had to actually add a bunch of thrusters and some more weapons back to the turtle, so it would actually, play good. So here we found one of Papel's ships, which was the Silverstream. And I think this one was brought in the second half of battle, wasn't it? Because they warped some more ships in, for reinforcements. And we didn't have any reinforcements. They brought extra in. And this is one of them was brought in, so hence why it's lagged. So I think we had to do a clean up of most of Papel's ships because the lag has gotten that bad after a while. We had to ask them to cut down the Excalibur because when that thing moved, it lagged the whole server. So it's like we had to do that to begin with.
Yeah, because they had the turtle 70%, and then the Excalibur was its engine bay, and then the line from the middle.
20 to 30% done.
Yeah, while they were trying to figure out which ship it was, they were pasting in the actual whole Excalibur, which was causing issues. And then I think for Papal ships, it was like 6 of these, 4 of the bigger ones, and 1 lead one. And all of these ones got shredded. That's why they're missing. That's why we can't find them, because they were demolished. They were just they were simply blocks flying around which got picked up by trash removal. This is the only one that I think
there's a one shot from you. Venom got the first shot off. Where it basically tore the ship in half, I think. I think he targeted like the engines directly and it blew apart.
Yeah.
And then I saw you take a couple of shots as well, and I think you separated one in half as it flew over. Because their tactics, when we think about it, obviously we're going to discuss this as well, the tactics of the drone team was odd for the start. Because I think some people are thinking we told them what to do that. In our defense, the tactics outline or the guideline for this battle wasn't very much. All we said was, tone down the jumping. We still allowed them to jump because, it's a valid tactic. But they just flew in randomly. Because your tactic idea was you thought they'd go around us in 2 separate teams, didn't you?
Yeah, because they were calling. You can check the front of the ship. It's red. They had red outlines, and then the other ones had blue outlines. So I thought they've tagged the ships differently. So I'm guessing one is going to go on the right, the other on the left. What we then found out is they couldn't jump behind us because apparently the jump distance was too small, and if they went further, they came into the planet's gravity well, which some of us started falling into.
When we warped in, one of our ships started falling in. I think it was it was Chris who had to vacate quickly because he was falling into atmosphere. If you teleport to me quickly, I found the remains of the Starhopper, one of Papel's lead ships.
Oh, okay. Is that the one that I shot the engine bay out of?
It might have been. We'll have to check the footage again, but there's not very much left of it. It's just the front.
Oh, yeah, I can't really determine.
That's the front. You can tell from the outlines where the the batteries are meant to be.
Yeah, and from the armor, this must have been the lead ship. This must have been the front. So this is kind of what we mean. This is the front of the lead ship. Imagine the smaller ones. They were just blocks.
Because I thought, when I generally saw the fleet line up, I said to you, because we wasn't recording at the time, because he's just, taking the server down for a backup, and I said, I think we're going to lose this because they've got quite a few ships. And I didn't expect them to do that random tactic of, dispersing. Because I thought, if they come at us in one big go, it'll be a head-on fleet battle. A, it will look fantastic, and B, I think we're going to lose, because I don't think we could have withstood them if they came in like one big group, because the amount of Vulcans and AA fire that would have been, I reckon we would have lost more ships then. But instead they split out and flew everywhere and jumped behind us. It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, splitting apart was not the best way. If they all came in a chunk of them, then they probably would have done better. They also had reserve ships, which surprised us a bit. And when we took out the first ones, we then saw new ships coming in, so we were like, okay, got to take care of them as well.
I will say there were some great passes between the Vengeance and the Turtle, though. Both those ships lived up to their, sort of status. And again, I was surprised by the Dawnbreaker as well. That ship lasted quite long, and it dealt out some really good firepower as well. Like, I was watching Aaron's PvP last night, and the amount of fire that's coming off that Dawnbreaker, those Vulcans, is immense. It's like just above Papel ship in a way. I mean, so tactically, I think we'll leave this down to, the audience to work out as well. But, who do you reckon's fleet is, in the best condition still, I reckon? I mean, I don't want to say because it will look like we're being biased against ourselves. But, yeah, both fleets took a battering. But, I'm not sure. It's interesting. We're going to have to leave the audience to decide that one, aren't we?
I know for a fact that, in the beginning it went, we got a good hit on their ships. Then I don't know how it actually went after they started jumping in ships, because then we dispersed. So we were out of... We were out of line of sight for each other, basically.
It would have been interesting to see if we continued on the fight to see who would have won.
Yeah. I mean, I know that when some of them got shot out, some people resorted to other tactics. I don't know that Vengeance got hit by some stuff. I'm not sure.
Someone was throwing blocks around at some point, which we had to stop. Also, I'm stuck waving. Apparently, I've broken the emoji. I'm stuck waving for some reason. Okay, right. So yeah, someone was throwing blocks around at one point. I'm just gonna quit doing that now because it's gonna get annoying. So we had to unfortunately, deal with that. But that was a bit awkward, wasn't it? So. I mean, we said don't throw blocks to begin with because it's actually a legitimate griefing issue in Space Engineers. As such, unwelded steel blocks, I can't show you because I'm in survival mode or creative mode at the minute, but if you drop like a scaffolding block to, let's see if I can spawn us in. If it's a scaffolding block like this, and thanks guys, that's brilliant. That wasn't what I wanted. When people throw around, scaffolding blocks like this, it can cause critical damage to ships, which I think in a PvP survival warfare thing is a bit unfair in a way, because it doesn't make it very fun. We've spent all the time building these ships, so to throw blocks around, it wouldn't be very cool. So yeah, I think that's our after analysis report, isn't it? Colony Wars has been a very fun series, and we wanted to come here today, show you what the world status currently looks like. Now, we're not going to be uploading this world version, but we are going to be uploading the version before the fight actually occurred. So if you want to go and download that, it was uploaded yesterday along with the series final of Space Engineers Colony Wars, so you can go explore all of these ships in your own time, make modifications to them, and do whatever you want. I've already seen some people, pitching a Vengeance against some of their warships, and it's held up surprisingly well. So if you end up doing that, make sure to come join our Discord server via the link down below and tell us what you thought of it. Craz, do you have any closing words?
Never underestimate pure ingenuity when it comes to ships.
Yeah, this ship held up very well.
Yeah.
But yeah. On that note, everyone, thank you for watching this. It's been a pleasure creating the Colony Wars series, and I hope you all enjoy this after action report. I've been Captain Jack, we're joined by Dr. Craz today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.